Growing up in George Compound has always had its challenges. George Compound is located on the western side of Lusaka, and it is one of the most populated shanty compounds in Zambia. But today, I'm not here to talk about George Compound's population, but more of its garbage disposal plan, if there was any. We grew up with garbage around us, and to us, this was normal. Not until one day, I went to visit my cousins in Rhodes Park. And when I got there, I was amazed by how clean the environment was. The drainages were clean, the roads, and just generally everything was clean. And one morning, my aunt instructed my cousin to take out the trash. And then my curiosity kicked in. I wanted to see what happened to the trash there. And as my cousin was going to the kitchen, I followed him. He opened one bucket, removed a plastic which was full of trash, and headed out. As he was doing that, I was following. And when we got out, he just placed the plastic outside the house. I looked around, and the whole community was doing the same. And I thought to myself, oh, this is how it is done here. And we went back in. So later on, I went out again and found the trash that we were put out. It was not there. I looked on my left, right, the neighbor's door, there was nothing. And the streets were back to how they were when I first saw them. And I went back in. I asked my auntie, what happened to the trash that we took out in the morning? And she explained to me, oh, here a truck comes to collect our garbage at a fee of 150 kwacha per month. And after that visit, I was very excited to tell my friends about it. And I was like, guys, in Rhodes Park, a truck moves around to collect garbage. And as we were discussing, my friends asked, what the question, oh, how come that truck never collects garbage here in George Compound? And we didn't know until we later found out that the 150 kwacha, which was about $10, was too expensive for my community to afford. So we came up with a plan. And our plan had 3 parts. The first part was collecting garbage at a fee that our community could afford. And the second part of the plan was finding a suitable place where we can recycle before taking the rest to the dump site. And third and most important part of the plan was how to handle the drainages which were full of garbage. And you know this is a major problem in Zambia, especially during the rain seasons. With that plan, we went to visit our local leader at the time, the councillor, and we explained to him. And his response was, you cannot collect garbage in George Compound until you register yourselves as an organization. We told him, oh, we are just young people, and we just want to clean our environment to look like a little bit like Rhodes Park. And he insisted, no, you need to get yourselves registered. And we were just young boys at the time, with no money. So we found some work at a nearby industrial area, and with that, we raised enough money to register ourselves with PACRA, the agency that registers companies. And with our papers, we go back to him. Oh, sir, here are the papers. We've registered ourselves. So can we collect garbage now? He says, no, just yet. You need to go back to the community and tell each family that you'll be collecting garbage from them. And after you are done, write down the names of those families and bring them to me. A few weeks later, we're collecting garbage. But before that, we needed to find a truck, just like the one in Rhodes Park, for us to collect garbage. And the truck that we found was 450 kwacha per load. And on a day, we needed to move about 3 loads. But you were charging the people 5 kwacha per household because it was at a service that the community could afford. So it was 5 kwacha per collection. And we knew that we needed to find other sources of income for us to be able to pay for the truck. And we thought of, one of the ways we thought of was recycling. We can pick up the trash from the community. Before taking it to the dump site, we start at a particular place, recycle some stuff that we can sell, and the rest go to the dump site. That would also reduce the amount of time we need to go to the dump site. We approached the council and presented our plan, or we are asking for a particular plot where we can at least work out recycling. And the council agreed, and we identified the place. And they said, before start using it, we'll come and inspect it. So we continued collecting garbage. And we needed to deal with the drainages that were full of garbage. So we asked the families that lived near the roads to clean at least a portion of the drainage that was in front of their houses. And this was a success. And other families joined in. We removed a lot of garbage from the drainages. But with all this, we had a lot of setbacks. Apart from the 5 kwacha that we were collecting not being enough, we also had some political interference. So we were first accused of working with the opposition because now we're successfully collecting garbage. So the councillor accuses us of working with the opposition political party. So one day he drives down to the community, asks to speak to me as a group leader, and I explained to him, it is very difficult collecting garbage because the money we are getting is not enough. We can't even afford lunch. We'd carry a loaf of bread, 2 containers of water. One was so that 2 5-liter containers of water. One was for us to drink clean water, and the other one was for us to mix with a sachet of concentrate so that we can make some juice. But for him, he thought we made money and instructed us, each time you worked, you need to bring the money to me so that I make a budget for you. And I make a budget for you, we pay for the tax and everything. To that instruction, we refused. We refused that instruction. And the next thing that followed were cadres that he sent to come and threaten us. They threatened us the first time, we continued collecting garbage. It was the second time they came, they threatened my friends. As the leader of the group, however, I was beaten. Took away the money that we had collected and the receipt books so that they can go and calculate how much we were making. With all this, we were so frustrated and stopped collecting garbage from the community. And the community that had promised that we'd be collecting garbage from them noticed that we were no longer doing it. And they followed us where we stayed. And we were living in the same community, so they obviously knew. And we explained to them, we are unable to continue this because of our councillor. With everything that is putting in our place, we are just too scared to do it. And the community stormed the councillor's office. We didn't go with them because the first beating was enough. So, this story got media attention. And I was interviewed by the TV stations, newspapers, and radio stations. And the more exposure the story got, the more threats we received. And we are being told that we are tarnishing the politician's name. He even went as far as instructing the council not to give us that land. The plot had asked for us to do our recycling. He said, no, don't give these boys this land, this plot. After all that, we couldn't really collect garbage because the threats were just too much. But now, this was not a journey about obstacles, because now we've got a new councillor in place and our project continues. You know, in the community that we come from, there are various challenges. And our initiative was not about cleaning our environment to be just as clean as Rhodes Park, but it was about giving the youth something to do. Because in my community, we do not become alcoholics from a young age. No, it usually happens after secondary school, where we have too much time, nothing else to do, and we start experimenting on wrong things, like drinking. So this initiative would have given you something to do, like collecting garbage, recycling, which is very good for the environment as well. But guess people didn't see that. So in we encourage each and every one of us, especially youths, that there are various challenges in our communities, and we need to be the change that we need. It can be through garbage collection, recycling, or any other business. But you need to start with whatever you have. And there might be a few challenges along the way, but keep on doing what you are doing. And trust me, people will support you, just like my community supported me. Thank you very much.